Imagine a journey where there's nothing but ice all around. No sign of humanity, no trace of land. Only the roar of storms, a sea of ice, and winds strong enough to break a man's spirit. This is the story of Ernest Shackleton, a man who, with his crew, embarked on one of the most dangerous missions in history. A mission where their ship Endurance was not only trapped in ice, but became the greatest test of human willpower. It was the year 1914. The world was still exploring Antarctica. Men had already reached the South Pole, but the dream of crossing the entire continent from one end to the other remained unfulfilled. Shackleton decided he would attempt what seemed impossible. He said, "If I succeed this time, it will be the greatest achievement of my life." With hope and courage, 27 men set out from London. Their ship was Endurance, a strong vessel, built specially to cut through ice. Every man believed they were about to set a new record in history. As the ship sailed into the waters of the South Atlantic, the crew was full of excitement. They laughed, sang songs, and dreamed of carving their names into the history of exploration. But the ocean had yet to reveal its true face. When Endurance reached the Weddell Sea, an endless ocean of ice awaited them. Icebergs as large as mountains floated all around. Each passing day made it harder and harder to move forward. By January 1915, Endurance was completely trapped in the frozen sea. The engine still roared, but the ship could not move an inch. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Surrounded by ice and bitter cold, the crew endured the longest nights of their lives. They set up tents, kept their sled dogs, and tried to survive each day. But with every passing moment, the ice grew stronger, tightening its grip on the ship. In October 1915, the pressure of the ice became unbearable. The wooden planks of Endurance began to crack and splinter. Imagine a ship once hailed as the pride of the sea, now crushed under the weight of frozen walls. Before the crew's eyes, their home, their shelter, was slowly being destroyed. Shackleton told them, "The ship is gone. Now our survival depends only on our courage." The men were now prisoners of the ice. They had only a small supply of food, a few lifeboats, and their determination. For nearly 2 years, they camped on the ice floes. Their food dwindled, the freezing winds cut into their bodies, and despair crept in. But Shackleton never let hope die. Every day, he reminded his men, "We will all return home alive." His leadership gave strength to all 27 men. In April 1916, Shackleton made a seemingly impossible decision. He announced he would take a small lifeboat, the James Caird, and sail 800 miles across the Southern Ocean to South Georgia Island to find rescue. Think of it, a tiny 22-foot boat against the world's most dangerous seas. Waves like mountains, winds sharp as blades. For 17 relentless days, they battled the ocean in that fragile boat. Freezing winds, hunger, and exhaustion tested every fiber of their being. But their will kept them alive. At last, Shackleton reached South Georgia. From there, he began planning a rescue. After several failed attempts, in August 1916, he finally returned to his stranded men. And what followed was nothing short of a miracle. All 27 men were alive. Despite 2 years trapped in the ice, not a single life had been lost. Shackleton's mission had failed. He never crossed Antarctica. But his leadership had created a new kind of victory. He proved to the world that true success is not always achieving what you planned. Real success is bringing your people home alive against all odds. This story reminds us that storms and ice may stop a man's path, but a determined spirit can make him immortal. This was the story of Ernest Shackleton and his ship Endurance, a timeless tale of human courage, hope, and leadership. Even today, people say, when everything seems lost, stand firm like Shackleton and never give up hope.